Hello, and welcome to Evolution, the podcast, where we're deep diving into the future of Salesforce and technology. I'm your host, Chad Lieberman, the founder of FutureFuture, and each episode, we're going to be exploring the cutting-edge developments that are reshaping the technology landscape today, helping you evolve your skills and business for the future. Whether you're a Salesforce professional, a technology enthusiast, or simply just curious about where the digital world's heading, you're in the right place. We'll be bringing you exclusive interviews from industry leaders, deep dives into emerging trends, and practical insights you can apply into your own technology journey. Let's not just prepare for the future, let's create it. Wow. Well, this is so exciting to do our own podcast. Today is just going to be talking about AI, autonomous agents, AgentForce, and all the crazy things that have been happening over the last few weeks with the Dreamforce announcements. I'm here with Arthur Backouche. Good to have you, Arthur. And I'm Chad Lieberman, founder and CEO of FutureFuture. Arthur, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Arthur Backouche. So I have been working with Salesforce for years now. And basically, we help clients to implement Salesforce technology. And I'm very excited to be here with you to discuss about artificial intelligence within Salesforce.
Yeah, no, I know. This is obviously a very hot topic these days. Everyone is it's all I'm seeing on my LinkedIn feed, on people's minds is what is AI, how to get started with it, what are the right use cases, and I think this is just going to be a fun chat to dive into it head first. I mean, you know, with all this like hype that's been going on with Dreamforce last week, we've heard AgentForce. You know, can you talk to me a little bit about like, you know, what do you think the future is of these autonomous agents, and you know, what do you think the impact that they're going to have is?
Yeah, it was very interesting to see all the hype around AgentForce at Dreamforce. I think it's a great product that have a lot of hype around. We can already see like the real benefits that organization will benefit from. I think like one key aspect where we can see organization using AgentForce is around service, sales, and marketing. From your point of view, do you think where do you see like the benefit of using AgentForce?
Yeah, I mean, to me, like right now, it's all about automating a lot of the remedial tasks that you know agents and other people need to do, right? I mean, nobody really wants to be updating their CRM after a sales call or taking notes when a customer calls in. I think it's able to do those manual tasks that take up a lot of time. And to me, like the benefits are really about augmenting your workforce, not really replacing people. Because I do think service and sales is such and marketing as well is such a relationship-oriented activity. But by using agents and AI, it allows you to focus more on the interactions that you're going to have with your customers and get rid of all those, you know, a lot of the tasks that take up a lot of time. That's where I think that a lot of the benefit is.
I think one key sentence that summarizes well is to improve employee productivity to deliver a better customer experience. I think like one of the benefits of using AgentForce is to have the capability to automate tasks. So instead of constantly interacting to a chatbot, as you currently do, you will have the possibility to schedule like a chatbot that will do action on a basis. I think that's the main capability. And the main difference with what you already know, for example, when you talk to a support chatbot on a website, is that the current chatbots are built in a very structured way. So it's like the code is if else, basically. And there is nothing smart behind. Like with the different agents that are available from Salesforce, they have the possibility to truly analyze what you are writing and defining an answer. Do you think people will use AgentForce over the chatbots in the near future?
I mean, I think so. I think they have the ability to actually do like reasoning, right? Yep. It's like you just said, it's not like an if then else statement that's like programmatically done. It's be able to actually understand the context of what the user is saying, retrieve data, and understand what that request is, and take action. And I think that's so much more powerful than just like a traditional, chatbot that we've seen. So I think, we're going to see not only these like standard service agents, but also all these custom agents and things like that. And I know they announced all those different, key out of the box use cases around sales, service, marketing. I'd love to get your thoughts about what are the different, your thoughts on like the value and some of these service, sales, and marketing ones. Like which ones did you like the best? And, where do you think the future is heading there?
I haven't looked specifically at all the out-of-the-box agent, but from what I've seen, Salesforce tried to demonstrate what are the capabilities of agent by creating some sort of templates. So as we can see, like the SDR agent is oriented sales, the service agent more like Service Cloud. And I think what Salesforce wants us to do is to create our own agent based on our own needs, because we know that all organizations have different problems.
Exactly.
And Salesforce is providing us with a library of agent feature that will allow us to build and customize our own agents. Did you see that within AgentForce there is action? So that's the library of action. What did you think about it? Do you think building an agent will be accessible to any like Salesforce consultant and specialist, or this will require like further knowledge?
Well, I think like the way that these bot agents are created, we're going to have a different mindset of how to build them, right? And I think you saw there was like the 5 different things, like, well, what's the role? What are the instructions, the guardrails that it has, what data can it use? And so it looks like a lot of them can be created, pretty easily with no code tools. And also obviously the actions can trigger like a flow. And so I think it's meant to be done more from a business user, to be able to kind of allow things to be created a lot more easily. And so I hope that that's the case, because then we'd see a lot more use cases customized.
And you recently worked with like the University of Queensland. So like, was it an interesting project? And like, did you have the opportunity to implement a lot of AI related feature or data related feature? Can you tell us more about what you did for them?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We started, so this was on behalf of when I was working at Accenture, but we've been working with the university for since 2022, creating a central digital engagement platform for like student and alumni for over 50,000 student and alumni. And they are, what I love about the university is they're also pioneering, real world experiences for their students, and they want to make things personalized. But one of the challenges I think at a university is things are so cyclical, right? Like, when you start school, you can imagine all the inquiries that a student has at those beginning months, right? And then maybe things like start to die down, and then maybe when finals are happening. So things are happening like in these like, oh my God, the call center is receiving all these cases and things. And so not only did we create this digital engagement platform with core CRM for service and Experience Cloud and Marketing Cloud. I was actually talking to one of their project leads at Dreamforce last year, showing him the power of AI and Salesforce for customer service and how we powered that with Data Cloud. And that actually led to a couple workshops and ideation sessions of what were some of their biggest challenges. And the things that we came up with was that one, call volumes were super high, right? Like 350,000 calls. And we wanted a way to start to deflect those cases. And the second thing was the efficiency of an agent handling those cases could be improved. And so what we did was a 10-week Data Cloud and AI stand-up where we use Data Cloud to connect all the different data sources from their CRM and information we had about the student and also their marketing data and create a unified customer record. And from there, we can actually start to learn more about the student in terms of the student life cycle, right? And start to do more proactive communication. I think a lot of times like marketers are very reactive and, being more proactive will help deflect students from actually calling into the contact center. So that's the first thing is like, you should be looking at ways to reduce call volumes into your contact center because that's where a lot of the expenses are. And you can do that through conversational chatbots, self-service. People want to be able to help themselves. If I want to reset my password or view my order history, like they should be able to look up that online, right? And also maybe receive a marketing email about, hey, this is congratulations for registering. Here's where to go get your ID. Because if they don't, then they're going to have to call in. The first thing was like, how could we actually use Data Cloud to deflect cases? And the second thing was, okay, how can we leverage some of these AI capabilities to make, once they do call in, make them more efficient? And so we did probably 5 key, capabilities, which was case classification. So when the case came in, we automatically classified the issue type of the case, which was cool. Like, and that's actually even more traditional predictive AI. That's not even generative AI, but instead of the user having to select, what case does this relate to? It's just automatically doing it based upon the issue that they said it was. We also enabled Copilot so they can actually ask questions. And I mean, to me, Copilot allows you to synthesize a lot of information. Instead of looking at the customer record and what's happened, you can imagine, tell me about this student. Oh, well, they've been enrolled for 2 semesters. They recently were failing their class and this is an issue. They might actually have be skipping classes. Their attendance is not good. Like, how can we actually understand the data about the student? And then some of the other big things were like, searching your knowledge base, creating answers and prompt builder. So being able to generate email responses. And the last one I'll mention that I think was very powerful is, which I talked about earlier, was creating field generation. So when they went to go close the case, we summarized the case automatically, looking at all the different data. And then we said, here's the steps that we did to resolve the case. So we're able to actually reduce a lot of the, not only deflect a lot of cases coming in, but also once they came in, how can you improve the time to go from, let's say, 10 minutes to 5 minutes to close the case? That's where the power of these of agents and Copilot and generative AI, I think, is going to come into play.
Okay, sounds good.
And I know, like, we talked a lot about some of those like standard agents, right? Of like a service and sales and marketing. Is there one that you thought from the out of the box ones were going to be like the most valuable or beneficial, or you think it's really more about building custom models? And
well, I know from your point of view that you are really interested in the service one.
I know.
And that you believe less in the SDR one. From my end, like, I'm really excited to see what the SDR agent will do. Even if, like, as we know, tomorrow is not the day that the SDR agent will replace a human. I still believe that in like 3 to 5 years, the SDR agent from Salesforce, we will be able to perform like a outbound call and all this function that we work with prospect as good as a human. So I'm really excited to see the SDR one. Do you believe Salesforce will be able to create something as good as an SDR? Or
I think like the SDR example is a hard one for me. It's kind of like a student who's doing their homework, and doing the answers by ChatGPT, and then the teacher grading it using ChatGPT. Is anyone actually learning anything, right? And it's almost like the same thing in sales. If you're the sales SDR is an AI agent who's saying, check out my product. And then who's the person responding to it is like someone's cleaning up your inbox and agents responding to emails on your behalf. It's like the human's gone, like I think there's a delicate balance between automated outbound personalization and then actually transferring that to like a human to carry the relationship forward. And I think it's like, we can't forget about the relationship in sales. It's the most important thing. It's building trust. And so like, how do you balance like personalization, automation, and with the human element and relationships of sales? I think that's my only challenge. And I think once I see Salesforce themselves doing that in their own org with customers, maybe we'll see. We're using the sales coach, then we'll see. But that's my only hesitation with that one. But I think people are a lot more used to it in service, right? Like an automated call center, helping solve a problem. But time will tell, right? And I'm excited to see how that plays out.
And I think we really need to see like the Copilot and agent as a toolkit, for employee to increase their productivity. I think like the idea is not to replace employee at this stage. Is to not upskill them, but give them more tool to deliver a better customer experience.
For sure.
Do you think employee will be fully replaced with artificial intelligence after like 10 years, 15 years? Do you think it's a possibility, or do you think it will never happen because it's not the final objective?
This is another delicate balance. I think we're already seeing a bit of displacement of jobs. I think that, a lot of times the companies view service as a cost center, which means like, this is a big cost for me, and we need to reduce the cost. And there's an automation and deflection and all these things are a great way to reduce costs. But I actually try to frame it a little bit differently, that like a call center or a contact center is actually more of like a value center where when someone calls in, they're having a problem with a product or a service that you have. And how can we actually flip that to help them solve their problem, but then help them in their journey, whether that's, talking to them about a new product or service or just making them feel good. Like, there's a story about Zappos, the shoe website, where they were just all about like creating a great human experience. They would stay on the phone with them for hours, helping them pick out the right shoes for an event. But like, it was just like they were known for having great customer service. In your opinion, like, would an 100% automated service center even be the right thing for you as a customer? If you called in, would you want that? Like,
Depends. Why? Probably, If there is efficiency. So, for example, if it's with Uber Eats or DoorDash, I would be very happy to have like a fully automated conversational agent. However, if it's with a brand like Rolex, for example, or like Ferrari,
one or not yet.
I will rather speak with a human. So I will guess it depends on the type of brand, and I think like fully automated customer service will be very more challenging for high-end brand than for like mass market brand. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that like my view is like no contact center like service should be fully automated. Like, I mean, I think it's trying to get to a place where, my goal with companies is try to help them get to a place where customers can help themselves. And so that could be, an online portal to view my order status and, check on where things are at. Being able to have a conversational agent so I don't have to call in. I love also WhatsApp for service. I use that a lot. Like when I ordered with Bose for my new headphones, we troubleshooted it on my own time, sending pictures, blah, blah. Like, I think that's like a fantastic experience. But if I do need to call in and something's not working or I want to discuss the problem that I have, people want to be heard. And I think, sometimes I don't think you're going to be able to get to that 100% thing unless you have like AGI. I don't know, like, will we even be able to get to that point of 100% automation? Maybe there are things that can't be fully solved, but I think we're going to see companies trying to automate a lot to help them, and then where needed, have the human in the loop. That's to me that ideal stage.
Like in terms of security, what do you think? Is very important with artificial intelligence? Do you think like Salesforce is providing the technology that allows organization to stay secure with their data, even if they are using like external large language models such as OpenAI? Can you tell us about that and the Einstein trust layer that has been implemented?
Yeah, I mean, it almost like feels like we're back in the era of cloud computing when everyone was moving to these like from on-premise, servers that were hosted in the basement of the company, and you had control over that, right? And now it's like, some of these large language models are like a black box. You kind of don't know like what data was it trained on. And I think like that's on top of everybody's mind right now. But with the introduction of this, the trust layer, there's like a couple like really important principles that I talk about with our customers is around a couple things. One is that these models are secure instances of, it's stored on its own instance. The key things that it's that it's not like shared, right? You're not sending it to a public OpenAI model that's training on your data. Whereas, actually right now, if you go into ChatGPT and type in things that your data is being used to train the model. For an enterprise level license, you can have your own shared instance. It's like the same thing of having a Salesforce for my company and your company. Yes, they're both in the cloud, but they're completely segregated. And also, when it comes to when you're sending data to it, a couple, key principles come to my mind is around when you're sending data, you want to obviously mask any, publicly identifiable information. You don't want to be sending a customer's like email or phone number or anything there. You want to be able to mask that data and not send it, just as a basic precaution. The second thing is it's called zero retention. It's like you don't want the model to actually retain that. So it doesn't retain any of the data that you send to it. And the third thing is around dynamic grounding. So that means that like it's only using the data needed at the time when you need it to do it. So I can actually send in the data, which is highly contextualized. It's in real time. It's the most up-to-date information at the time when you send the prompt. It's not actually using all of your data in the model to train it at all times. You're just sending it as it's needed. I think, those are some of the key principles of security that, it's important to keep in mind. When it comes to this. What are some of the maybe custom models that have you thought of any custom models that or use cases that companies could do? Any examples or?
Yeah, like there is, I think everything related to marketing will be interesting.
Yeah.
Today, we know that we need to personalize the marketing content to deliver a better customer experience.
Yeah.
And I think AgentForce will be able to update the copywriting of any marketing asset and personalize it for specific Salesforce record, so including contact and lead. I think this is very interesting. But I guess another benefit of AgentForce that we will see is the multi-platform integration.
Yeah.
And Slack is being used as the AI interface.
Yeah.
What do you think about? Do you believe that people that are using Slack will interact with their agent directly through the Slack interface?
Yeah.
And other question, do you think the investment of like $23 billion from Salesforce into Slack is a good investment, is justified through this new AI wave that we are seeing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good question. I think the interface is so important, right? Like you are interacting with this agent. I would say like a lot of people you talk to who are end users of Salesforce.
Yeah.
Do you think they really like going and creating a new lead manually, updating the status of that lead, taking notes about a meeting? And I think like what you see with like Slack, it's a very easy to use application where you can obviously just like instantly the speed at which you message things. And it's also about updating. And I think it's also ties into the Salesforce for AI solution you built. It's a new interface using agents to update Salesforce, right? Like, and I think it's making it easy for end users and customers to be able to update things easy. And that's we're going to see it's like building a whole new user interface that's going to be game changing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the investment of Slack, the $23 billion investment, I can't say too definitively about that, but I do think that it's seeing agents across different UIs. We'll see that way more regularly, whether that's the digital experience or in Slack or using the Copilot AgentForce in the CRM itself to perform operations. We're going to see a lot more.
And you recently created a new venture called FutureFuture.
Yeah.
After working for Accenture for 12 years.
Yeah.
Could you tell us more, please, about FutureFuture.io?
Yeah, no. It's been an exciting time. I mean, I think, for me, I've been working with customers, helping them innovate and, transform their business using Salesforce for the last 12 years. And I had an incredible opportunity to do that with Accenture. I think from my point of view, I just felt like there was an opportunity with in a different way to do things in the way that we service customers as consultants, right? And we're in such a innovative time where we can leverage the power of AI in project delivery as well, and help customers leverage the power of technology. And so FutureFuture is all about, to me, I call it the business of evolution. It's about like helping companies navigate all the complexity with so much happening right now. It's helping them evolve, with and adapt to these new technologies. And particularly, like my focus is around data, AI, and customer experience. I want to help companies unify their data and actually make it more accessible, generating insights for them, being able to leverage AI to help automate and do the things we just talked about and gain efficiencies there and help them focus on creating more human experiences with their customers. And to me, like personalization is still so important. Customers today are expecting more seamless experiences across channels and more personalized experiences. And how do we do that through data and better marketing automation? And that's what FutureFuture is all about. And it's been such an exciting time I think there's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur and go off on your own. And it's something I'm so excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, that sounds very exciting.
Yeah, and you as well. You launched Salesforce for AI, which is this new platform. I got a chance to have a look at it. I've seen multiple demos of it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
You want to tell everybody what that's all about?
Yeah, so it's basically Copilot for Salesforce. So like you can just connect your Salesforce instance and ask anything you would like to know about your Salesforce instance directly to a chatbot powered by AI and more specifically OpenAI. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, I know there's all these different little agents, different agent types that you've built, and they're super fun and cool. Tell me like some of the different like use cases that, who's using it and how can they use it? Like what's the benefit?
One of the main benefits of using the agent is the capability to personalize content based on Salesforce. So for example, if tomorrow you want to write an email about like a welcome email and you already have information about your contact record, the agent will be able to write an email with the copywriting already personalized for a specific contact. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. I think this has been such a like powerful discussion, about the future of AI and agents. And I think where we're headed, it's so exciting. Do you have any thoughts for any of those listening on some recommendations on, where to get started or things to keep in mind when it comes to AI and Salesforce?
Yeah, I think OpenAI just released their own academy. And they are leader on the market. So you have the possibility either to study on Trailhead, the academy from Salesforce that can give the base of artificial intelligence. But I think it's very full of worth to learn on the OpenAI academy as well. So that will be the two things.
Yeah.
How about you?
I mean, my two things are, one, I'd say keep the human experience alive, look at where you can augment the manual, tedious tasks that people don't want to do, but also build great experiences. And then I think my last piece of advice is just getting started, right? Like that
just do it.
Just do it. Yeah, exactly. The culture, create a culture, your company of innovation, build something like the cool Salesforce for AI platform that can really make a difference, right? And see how that goes. Pilot that, get feedback, and I think then you'll be successful. Look at things as an evolution and not a revolution, I say.
Yeah.
So it's been such a great discussion with you, and let's do this again.
See you in the next one.
Yep. See you, everyone. Thanks for listening to this episode. Let's not just prepare for the future, let's create it. Leaving a review helps others find the podcast. And if you want more information or want to get in touch, visit futurefuture.io and follow us at the Evolution Podcast.